I think it's going to be one of those weird injuries where it's like it'll be found out that it's like as I've said, I think it could very well be a pinched nerve.
I mean, I feel good. I'm going to be day to day from here on out, and doing everything I can to put myself in position to play the next game every single time. You know?
So it turns out the Fever are not more dangerous without Caitlin Clark. Of course, that would have been true win or loss against the Los Angeles Sparks.
Caitlin Clark's injury changed everything. Ticket prices dropped by nearly 50%. But what made Angel Reese's response during this chaos spark a firestorm? From her controversial Reebok campaign to the backlash it unleashed, we're diving into why fans couldn't believe her timing. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
Indiana Fever's problems of not being able to close out games once again bites them in the butt against the Los Angeles Sparks, and in this game they really missed Caitlin Clark.
Team they still should beat without CC in the lineup, but the fact that that was even put into existence when it's obviously false.
Caitlin Clark's injury announcement wasn't just another setback, it flipped the WNBA All-Star Weekend on its head. The moment the news broke, ticket prices on resale platforms like TickPick plummeted by a staggering 48%, and you could feel the ripple effects almost immediately. Fans who had planned travel to Vegas were suddenly backing out. Flights were canceled, hotel rooms sat empty, and even local businesses felt the sting from fewer visitors in a city that was supposed to be buzzing. It wasn't just about one player. It was about how much the league depends on her. And that dependence was suddenly glaring.
Of Caitlin Clark going through practice. Now, in case you do not realize, tomorrow night, huge game.
You can see Caitlin Clark is wearing compression tights. She's out here with the bun. She's doing her Diana Taurasi impression right now.
Imagine this. If you pulled LeBron from a marquee NBA event at the height of his influence, it'd rattle both the fans and the league's bottom line. That's exactly what Clark's absence represented. A player so essential to the WNBA's growth that her not showing up made the league feel incomplete. The merchandise tables? People barely glanced at them. Concession stands had shorter lines than usual, and it became obvious the league didn't have a backup plan for losing its biggest star in the middle of one of its most high-profile weekends. The stats weren't lying either.
They fall apart. They aren't able to get offense in the way they were earlier in the game, and Caitlin Clark can really help with that because she's good at playing in these games.
For the Indiana Fever against the hated Cheryl Reeve-led Minnesota Lynx.
TickPick reported a nosedive in sales, and Front Office Sports pointed out the clear drop in game buzz after Clark's injury update. She's not just a player, she's momentum. A walking highlight reel the league built so much of its future around. But when all of that crashed, the conversation wasn't just about what was lost that weekend, it was also about why. Does the league have too many eggs in one basket? Clark's absence raised a tough question. What happens to the WNBA's future when its brightest star isn't there to shine?
Anyone who's ever watched basketball understands that is silly and came to, be proven true once again through Clark's absence.
In the same way they started off a lot of their recent losses. They've been up in these games. They've had the momentum. It seemed like they were going to win it. And then at the end, they just lose it all.
That, she's gotten scans. The reason they're saying day-to-day is I think that it is actually day-to-day because I think they don't have a clue what's wrong with her.
This chaotic backdrop set up the perfect stage for controversy. When Angel Reese stepped into the All-Star spotlight, she wasn't just seizing her moment. She was stepping into a minefield of expectations and frustrations that had already been lit. What Reese did next? That's where the real storm begins. Angel Reese's Reebok campaign, launched during the WNBA All-Star Weekend, had all the makings of a buzzworthy moment. The slogan plastered on billboards and shared on social media, "I'm in your city," paired with the line, "Walk in your trap, take over your trap," was bold, to say the least. But here's the kicker. The timing couldn't have been more loaded.
Okay, so she was a limited participant She's trying to put herself in a position to get back for the next game.
Maybe just keeping it hot, maybe some heat. Like, obviously it's not putting major heat on it, but you can put some sort of, like, it can keep the heat in.
Caitlin Clark, Reese's most notable rival, was sidelined with a groin injury, unable to compete in her own home city. What could have been Reese's breakout spotlight turned into a move that many fans saw as opportunistic and completely tone-deaf. To some, the campaign came across as Reese puffing her chest in an empty room. Clark wasn't there to defend her turf, so the "take over your trap" energy felt more like a hollow victory lap, and fans on social media didn't hold back. Comments ranged from "why celebrate when your rival isn't even playing" to stronger accusations of the campaign being a calculated attempt to steal the spotlight. The aggressive tone, especially when Clark wasn't even healthy enough to answer back on the court, rubbed people the wrong way.
Doing it through defensive intensity and all that, when you don't have it to the same level, things can fall apart.
Shooting from the field, it wasn't a very dominant 21 points, but it was a 21 points of taking what the defense gave her. She played well. Aaliyah Boston had 23 and 12 in this.
After she came back from the quad injury, that she wasn't going to play, and then all of a sudden, we found out her.
One fan summed it up bluntly: "It's not a rivalry if only one person is showing up." The optics couldn't be ignored. This wasn't just about Reese promoting her new shoe line with a little swagger. This was Reese stepping into a spotlight that fans felt she didn't fully earn, at least not in that moment. Adding more fuel, Reese shared an Instagram story featuring Bankroll Fresh's "Take Over Your Trap," reinforcing the idea that she was capitalizing on Clark's absence. But it didn't land how she might have hoped.
That is just causing all the problems in her leg. Something like a pinched nerve in her hip, which is causing groin pain, which is what caused extra stress.
And this is now 2 losses to the Sparks without Clark. They've lost to the Connecticut Sun, who have the worst record in the league.
By aggressively claiming space while her rival was dealing with an injury, Reese may have unintentionally highlighted just how crucial Clark is to the league's energy. Instead of sparking excitement around her campaign, Reese's approach made Clark's absence even louder. It wasn't just marketing gone wrong, it was a reminder of who's really driving the WNBA's buzz. And for Reese, this wasn't just a PR hiccup, it may have reshaped her personal brand and that ongoing rivalry. Caitlin Clark's absence left more than an empty roster spot. It revealed just how much the WNBA leans on her star power.
She was 9 for 17 from the field, less efficient than you usually see Aaliyah Boston, but she did get down low into the paint. She used her strength. Kelsey Mitchell also had 19 points in this game.
It looked like she wasn't going to go. And now one could argue, should she have been back? That's the other question.
Ticket sales stumbled, excitement faded, and the league felt the hit at almost every level. It's a sharp contrast to leagues like the NBA, where the absence of one player rarely shakes the foundation. So what happens next? Can the WNBA build a stronger foundation, or will Clark bear the weight of keeping interest alive? Her 2025 return promises a massive shift. But here's the real question: how will players like Angel Reese redefine their roles in this evolving rivalry?